Welcome to the Women Inspire Aspire podcast. In this episode, I talked to Shikha Thakur about bioplastics. Hi Shikha, thank you for accepting my invite to appear in the podcast. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Mr. Venkat.
Can you go ahead and tell us a bit about yourself, where you are from, and what do you do?
I am Shikha Thakur. I am from Delhi. I recently finished my PhD from CSIR National Chemical Laboratory, Pune. And my PhD work was on creating microbial cell factories for the production of bioplastics.
Okay, that's great. I think this is the second or third related to environment related science and research. For the sake of the listeners, can you tell us a bit about what bioplastic is and how is it different from regular plastic?
Bioplastics are bio-based and biodegradable plastics. They are something which are of great interest to the environment. The conventional plastic that we use is something which hangs around in the environment for like hundreds or millions of years. It does not degrade. While the bioplastic is something which is bio-based, it is coming out of a living organism and it is biodegradable. So it degrades in the environment. In the soil, when it goes, it degrades. It is not hanging around. Otherwise, we know that plastics, either they are burnt or they are sent into the landfill sites. So I am from Delhi. Delhi has 3 or 4 major landfill sites. So we have mountains of plastic waste that is there that we see, and we see plastics in the ocean and the water bodies now. So plastic has reached our bloodstream. In fact, we see microplastics in the blood now. It has been reported that in the mother's milk, microplastics have been found. So the plastic challenge is very big. And so my research plugs it as a solution to the plastic problem.
Okay, it's pretty terrible to hear the effect of plastics on the humans and the world. It's great that you're working on a solution for this. So please go ahead and tell us about how your solution looks like.
Now we have a microbial platform which makes this bioplastic. As part of my PhD work, I also worked on improving the product yield, the bioplastic yield, the rates and the titers. So we have a working strain now which works, and it is a bacterium which was not naturally producing the bioplastic but has now started producing. So we in fact would like to commercialize our product.
Okay, so when you say it was naturally not producing and now it is producing, what was involved in making it work?
So we did some genetic level engineering using metabolic engineering, synthetic biology, and evolutionary engineering approach. Added certain genes from some organisms which have naturally present genes for the production. But the native producers also tend to have the depolymerase. So basically the bioplastic which I am talking about is a polymer. So the native organisms tend to have a depolymerase. Even if it polymerizes this bioplastics, the depolymerazes it, and so eventually you do not get the bioplastic. But in our case, since we do not have a depolymerase, so we are able to finally get the produce of the bioplastic, which is a polymer.
Okay, great. In terms of a commercial solution, are you planning to start a startup or join an organization that would fund your efforts?
So for now, I am planning to join an organization to understand the workings of the industry, how it works, how we go about doing our business. Because so far I have learned only the science part of it. I also need to understand the industry and the market and the economics. So for now, I need to understand the industry.
That's very true. And what are the challenges do you think in understanding the industry better?
People, I think, are not very open about their ideas and agendas in India. During the course of my PhD, I happened to go and attend an international conference outside India. There is a scientist from China who has started making this biopolymer. Not exactly what I was working on, but another class of bioplastic. So he is producing this bioplastic now in tons. But in India, no one has picked up the market that much. So people here are not very open, I guess. And so we somehow lack.
Okay. Is it possible that you might need to create more awareness about the product so that people might get interested in using it?
Yes, because a mindset shift will only help us become more aware and be more vigilant with our choices, because the plastic problem, the challenge that we face, it is mostly the single use plastic that we mostly use and throw away. So we can avoid that easily. We can on our own say that we don't want an extra plastic packet or something. Whenever we are going and buying milk, we get a plastic cover for that. So maybe if we say no to it, so we reduce one bag each day.
Right. But my question was really about creating awareness on a mass scale, which is a challenge in a country like India. This is not a problem just with addressing plastic, but also with many other areas like civic sense, education, etc. So, do you have any thoughts on that, or have you attempted anything related to plastics?
I have not thought about it much, but when I think of it now, I think public awareness campaigns and all these social media and television based ads, people, the big stars popularizing bioplastics. I mean, this could help in bringing the change. McDonald's uses the McDonald's cups, whatever hot beverage that you take, hot or cold, whatever. The lid is made of bioplastic. So maybe people be made more aware of using things. But you know what? In the bioplastics market, the thing is that bioplastics happens to be 5 to 6 times more expensive than the conventional plastic. And that is why the market is not switching to the bioplastics.
Right. I have heard the same thing from another gentleman that the economics of bioplastics is not helping it in mass adoption in the communities. It needs more funding and probably innovation too. But there is hope, and all the best for your work in that area. Is there anything else you would like to talk about before we move on to other topics?
Just that in bioplastics production, 50% of the cost is from the feedstock that goes into making the bioplastics. So we need to work towards it, that we are able to fine tune the process and then find carbon sources which are cheap and easily available, such that bioplastics production is beneficial both for the manufacturer and the end user.
Wonderful. I hope that that happens, and I wish you all the best in your efforts. Now let's talk about your hobbies and interests and what do you do for fun.
So I read books, I go on photo walks, I like cooking, I'm interested in music, I paint, I draw things. I recently learned to drive a car. I like traveling.
Okay, that's a lot of things. What kind of music are you interested in?
I listen to mostly Bollywood music, sometimes Hollywood music. I listen to ghazals. I really like the Coke Studio.
Okay, who is your favorite ghazal artist?
Jagjit Singh and Chitra Singh. They together create some really good music. Jagjit Singh is no more there, but most of their ghazals used to be with some really great lyricists. So I really like the lyrics of their ghazals. So they are very meaningful.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at. Whether you like the music, the lyrics, or the performance. Great. In that case, you might like poetry also to some extent then. Have you read poetry and whose work are you very interested in?
I like Gulzar, Javed Akhtar, Nida Fazli. The way they talk about life, their words are very deep. They have meaning. I like all that.
When we were talking offline, you were talking about some musical instruments that you play. Can you tell us about it?
So I play ukulele. I have a kalimba and I also have a Casio keyboard.
Aha, that's a wide variety of instruments. How did you get interested in all these?
So ukulele and kalimba, this was during the pandemic. When the pandemic had hit and we were all locked down, so I picked up a new hobby in learning ukulele. So I am self-learning it. So I've learned a few tunes. I can play some music with it. Kalimba is a thumb piano. It's a small wooden thing. Creates really nice music. Kalimba and ukulele are played in pair basically. So got this, and recently when I finished my PhD, I got myself a keyboard which I am yet to explore and venture into.
That's great. Enjoy. So let's talk about some societal issues that you care about. You're already into plastics. Apart from that, do you have anything else?
I feel that women in STEM, I worked with a female guide PhD advisor. We used to always talk about women in STEM, the representation of women in science. So that is one of the areas that I care about. So I think there should be more and more women who actually go about inspiring and aspiring the society at large. They should be successful in whatever they do, wherever they do. I am from NCL and I'll sound like a feminist. People will start saying things, but our institute has not had any female directors so far. There are very less women who have been HODs in our institute. So yeah, representation of women is seen very less as of date.
Right. And how do you plan to address that? Do you have any plans for that?
In this, for now, I can at a individual level I can do things. So I also happen to be a Toastmaster. Toastmasters International is a non-profit organization, 100-year-old organization. It's basically for communication and leadership development. So I used to take up a lot of leadership roles in my institute during my PhD, and I plan on doing the same during my further career as well. I will do as much as I can by giving participation in whatever leadership roles I can take up to improve upon my communication and leadership skills. Apart from that, it also introduced me to a huge community of people. Age-wise also, there was a huge dynamism, and work-wise also, I would get to meet a lot of people from different backgrounds. During PhD, it gets a lot boring. Just break that monotonous cycles. I became part of Toastmasters in 2024. In Toastmasters, we have pathways. So pathways you take up. Each pathway you are supposed to deliver 15, 16 speeches. So I have finished a pathway so far. So 16 speeches I have delivered. Speeches in front of random audiences. So I think I have improved.
That's wonderful. Any other hobbies or societal issues that you want to talk about?
I said I like cooking. So for me, cooking is like a recreational activity. So during our PhD, sometimes we would just go about cooking and I would cook for 9 or 10 of my friends at a time. We would enjoy food because, mess food becomes really boring sometimes.
All right. We are coming towards the end of the podcast. Do you have any questions for me or about the podcast?
Yes. Could you talk more about Women Inspire and Aspire podcast series? How did you come up with the idea of hosting this?
Yes, I wanted to create a platform for people to express themselves in terms of their life journey as stories. Later, it became rebranded as the Women Inspire Aspire podcast, as all the guests happen to be women. It's going on successfully and we have released 110 plus episodes so far. Thanks for asking.
That's wonderful. Keep up with the spirit.
I wish you all the best in your life and whatever you aspire to do. Please take care and bye for now.
Thank you. Bye.
That was a great podcast with Shikha Thakur. Please subscribe to this channel and follow it for more awesome podcasts. Opinions expressed by the guests in this podcast are their own. The host or the sponsors of the podcast do not condone the opinions expressed by the guests or the actions arising out of those opinions. Any decisions or actions that the listeners might take as a result of listening to this podcast must be based on their own judgment and will be at their own risk. The podcast host or their sponsors will not be held responsible for the consequences of any actions and or decisions taken as a result of any content in this podcast.